Macau was a 25-year-old aeronautical engineer working at Wilson Airport in Nairobi. His journey at the airport began when his retiring father secured him a well-paying job there. Over the past 5 years, Macau had become a beloved member of a thriving company that started with a few airplanes and had grown to boast a fleet of 10 new aircrafts, each capable of carrying 50 passengers. The company's success was celebrated with a grand party organized by their happy CEO, Giovanni. The airport, located a few kilometers from Nairobi, a bustling hub serving clients from all over Africa and international destinations. Macau loved his job. His passion for aeronautics was evident to everyone. The day the new aircrafts arrived, the excitement buzzed through the hangar as the employees marveled at the impressive machines towering above them. As the end of the year approached, Macau looked forward to the annual end-of-year party, hosted by his close friend and colleague, Mwaniki. He had built his own house in Ngong. It was 25 kilometers from Nairobi. Despite a looming storm, the team gathered at Mwaniki's place for a night of celebration, filled with drinks, laughter, and plenty of nyama choma. The rain began to pour heavily, and as the clock ticked past midnight, the guests extended their stay, hoping for a break in the weather. Eventually, Macau decided it was time to leave. He offered to drop off two colleagues on his way back to town. The rain intensified as he drove his car. As he navigated the road, visibility became a challenge. It was almost 2 a.m., and the normally bustling streets were very quiet. The rain pounded on his windshield as he approached Langata Road, driving with his full lights to see the road clearly. Nearing Langata Cemetery, his bright beams shone on a sight that made his heart skip a beat. Standing just outside the cemetery gate was a light-skinned woman, soaked in the heavy rain, holding two dogs on leashes. She wore a bright red sleeveless shiny leather jacket that seemed out of place in the heavy rain. As Macau slowed down, she raised her hand, signaling for help. Question raced through Macau's mind. What was this young woman doing outside the cemetery at this odd hour? The logical part of his mind told him to drive on, but his instincts urged him to stop. Curiosity and concern won the battle, and Macau slowed down to offer her a lift. He leaned over to ask if she needed a ride. Through the gap, Macau heard the lady, who had an Italian accent, request to ride with him to a nearby estate. As he reached for the lock to open the door for her, Macau was met with a terrifying sight as he looked up through a gap of his window. The young lady's eyes were demonic and reptilian, slit like those of a crocodile. His hair stood on end. He stepped on his accelerator to drive away. The lady gripped the door handle, trying repeatedly to open it. Fear rushed through Macau's body and he decided not to stop the car. Looking in the side, he saw the lady still holding the handle, fighting to open the door, and she ran alongside the car, speaking in a strange language. He pressed hard on the pedal, and soon she disappeared from view. Macau couldn't believe what he had seen. He realized he was fortunate not to have opened the door to that mysterious creature, which could have caused him harm or led to his abduction, never to be seen again. Many people disappear in mysterious ways, he told himself. This is probably one of those ways. From that day onwards, Macau respected the night and learned to avoid picking up people at such late hours. He continued his drive home, his heart pounding from the encounter. The rain eventually eased as he neared home. He parked his car with a sigh of relief. His mind was abuzz with the night's event. And he knew he would never forget the face of that mysterious woman. Back at Wilson Airport, life returned to its usual rhythm. Macau continued to excel in his career, and the mystery of that night remained a fascinating and chilling memory. His colleagues noticed a change in him, a newfound sense of caution and respect for the unknown. The encounter had indeed marked the beginning of a new chapter in Macau's life, one filled with unexpected twists and profound realizations. He understood that sometimes the most extraordinary and terrifying encounters happen when we least expect them. And those moments have the power to shape our destinies in ways we could never imagine.